Ever stop and think about the words we use in cybersecurity? For example, why do we call someone who steals money online an attacker? Today, we're going to dig into how just one word can have these huge and honestly pretty damaging real-world consequences. And I'm not exaggerating, the specific word we choose to describe a digital threat literally determines how we respond to it. In this explainer, we're going to show you exactly why this is so important. To really get what I mean, let's walk through a real-world case of financial fraud. It's a story that was mislabeled from the very beginning, and that's where the problem starts. So here's how it went down step by step. The person behind this did their homework. They found personal details online to build trust with an elderly victim. Then they talked that person into installing remote access software. From there, they took over the victim's online banking, siphoned off about 800 euros, and then, get this, they impersonated the victim to scam their friends out of tens of thousands more. It's a cold, calculated financial crime. But here's the crucial part. Listen to the language that was used to describe this. The person who committed this theft, this fraud, was called an attacker. And as you're about to see, that one little word choice has some pretty massive implications. So that really brings us to the heart of the matter. Does it actually make a difference if we call this person an attacker instead of, say, a criminal? Is that just splitting hairs? Well, the answer is a huge, definite yes. And here's why. You see, when we get terms like cybercrime and cyber attack mixed up, it's not just a simple mistake. We're talking about something with serious consequences for security, for victims getting justice, and even for how nations deal with each other. So here's the bottom line. The label we slap on something triggers a very specific response. Think of it like this. If you call something a cyber attack, that makes you think of national security, maybe even the military. But if you call it cybercrime, you think of the police, right? An investigation. Use the wrong word, and you send the completely wrong team to fix the problem. Okay, so let's break this down. We need to get really clear on the two concepts at the center of all this confusion. The difference between a cyber attack and a cybercrime is fundamental. And honestly, it's the key to understanding this whole thing. Just take a look at this. On one side, you have a cyber attack. This is the big stuff. We're talking state-sponsored groups, espionage, maybe trying to take down a power grid. The response involves national security. But over on the other side, you have cybercrime. This is all about money, theft, fraud, scams, and who handles that? The police. They're two totally different problems that need two totally different solutions. So, to be crystal clear, a cyber attack is a hostile act. It's often an issue of national security, sometimes even considered a digital act of war. And cybercrime? Well, at its heart, it's theft. It's just an old-fashioned crime using new tools. And that means it's a job for traditional law enforcement. Plain and simple. Okay, so why have we spent all this time on definitions? Because when we get them wrong, things go bad, and they go bad fast. Let's trace the domino effect, and it all starts with the victim. It begins the moment a clear case of someone getting their money stolen, just like in that story, gets labeled as a cyber attack. I mean, put yourself in their shoes. The word attack sounds huge, right? It's intimidating. It makes it sound like something way too big and technical for your local police. You start to think, what are they going to do about this? I probably shouldn't even bother them. And that's the devastating result. Instead of filing a police report, a victim feels overwhelmed and might just delete all the messages. And poof, critical evidence is gone. The crime goes unreported, and the criminal, they just walk away, free to find their next target. This is literally how they keep getting away with it. And this problem just gets bigger and bigger, creating a massive ripple effect. Imagine national security agencies spending their very valuable time and resources investigating a so-called attack, only to realize it was just a financial scam. That's a huge waste of resources that should be focused on real national threats, all while the police investigation that should have happened gets delayed or never even starts. So, as you can see, getting the language right isn't just some academic debate. It is essential for effective security. It's about calling the right emergency service for the right emergency. So, with all that in mind, let's nail down the key takeaways here. Let's do a quick recap. First, words shape our response. Period. Second, financial fraud is a crime, not an act of war. Third, using the right label gets you the right help. And finally, and this is probably the most important part, if you're a victim of digital fraud, your first and most critical step is to report it to the police. So I'll leave you with a final thought. The next time you see a headline about a cyber attack, just take a second and ask yourself, is that really the right word for what happened? Because as we've seen, the answer to that question could change absolutely everything.